Good morning. I just got home from dropping Alyssa off at school. Um, wow, I don't even know how to start this off. Sad story. My sister that I lived with in Austin has passed away. She passed away this last week. And oh man, there's just I don't even know. There's so much detail. There's so much. I have to get my thoughts together real quick. So, I'll give you a little story on that. She apparently had gotten sick in August with COVID, and with COVID, she got pneumonia, and she was on a ventilator, got really fucking sick, and I didn't know anything about it. I did not know she was fucking sick. Her and I still had not talked. We never fucking talked after I moved back. I actually found out through a friend of mine who he didn't even like. He sent me a screenshot of what was going on, like the posts that have been put up of his situation on Facebook. And sorry, I keep saying her name. I don't want to say any names in this video still. Like, there's a reason for that. He sent me a screenshot and asked me what was wrong with her, with my sister. Let me just preface this by saying, like, when I say my sister, my brother at all in this video, I mean from my father's side. Not the ones that you have seen in videos before, Jesse and Sierra, not them. Those are from my mom's side. This is all siblings from my father's side. Yeah, he sent me that, asked me if she was okay, and I was like, I don't fucking know. I didn't know how severe the shit was because people over there are dramatic as hell. So I really didn't know how severe the situation was. I didn't know who to reach out to because I hadn't talked to anybody. I blocked everybody, just cut everybody off after the whole situation went down in Austin. I moved back. And so I asked my aunt to see if she could find out anything because she's just really good at that kind of stuff. And she called my brother on my dad's side, and he told her everything that I just said, like COVID and pneumonia. So I ended up just unblocking my other I don't even want to call her my sister. She's not my sister. She's not blood. I'll call her name in this video will be highlights. Her name will be highlights. I'm being petty in this video. This video is for you guys, for that family, for my dad's side of the family, because I know you're going to watch. I know you're going to see it because you threw that last video in my face. So I know you're watching, bitch. Yeah, so her name's going to be highlights. She is my sister, the one who passed. She is her sister. They are blood. They have the same mother, right? Yeah. God, I'm even confusing myself. Shows you how much I've been around that fucking family. But yeah, her name's highlights. I'm so sorry if this is confusing to any like of my regular viewers, which there's so many of you. But yeah, I ended up unblocking her and I just reached out to her. I was like, hey, what's going on with sister? What the hell is going on? And she told me this. I'll just put it up because I can't even remember. But I was so happy that she actually answered me, and she was being fucking cool at first. She was communicating with me. And literally that same day that I asked her, I have to go back and look at the messages. Basically, she was telling me like, yeah, she's in Austin. She's been on a ventilator. And she's like, something happened. Or she said something happened. My brother on that side, we'll call him Puppet. His name's going to be Puppet. His name is Puppet because literally, like, he is just so non-confrontational. He seems to like be aware that the shit that goes on in that family is not okay, but he still goes along with it. Why? I don't know. So his name's Puppet. So she's like, yeah, he's gonna call the hospital and see what the hell is going on, whatever. I can't remember if she gave me the address to the hospital before then. So I asked like what hospital was she in, and everything like that. So I'm just kind of waiting to hear back from her And I can't wait. Like, I just can't wait anymore. So I ended up calling the hospital myself. And I asked if she was there, and they didn't have her in the system under her husband's last name. So I did our last name, her maiden name, and they had her in the system under that. And they basically told me they couldn't tell me anything. They asked me if I had a access code or something like that, or if I could get it from her husband or from Puppet. And I was like, I told them straight up, I was like, I don't talk to them. We don't talk to each other. Like, I'm her sister. Can you please just tell me something? They were kind of just like, So I just straight up asked them, like, is she gonna die? And the nurse was like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's not looking good. Once they're put on a ventilator, they only have a 15% chance of living. And my fucking heart sank. I started getting choked up, and I was just like, okay, thank you, and just got off the phone. Basically, after that, I was just talking to my mom, telling her, like, she's gonna go, like, she's going to go. So later on, Highlights did get back to me, and she said that we have to go to Austin to say our last goodbyes. I just told her, like, I can't go there right now. Like, I can't say goodbye. Like, would I be able to see her in the morning? Like, can I do that? And she was like, no, something just tonight, whatever. But she told me they're going to have everything for her here, meaning her funeral and everything, and that she would keep me posted. So I was like, thank you. Like, and so after that, I just let my mom know, I let my aunt know, and my daughter, I let them all know, like, she's going. Like, this is the conversation after that, that she said she'll keep me posted and everything. And I just kind of just the rest of the night I don't even know how to describe how I felt, because her and I just, like, we're in this argument, we're in this fight, not speaking. We hadn't spoken to each other in a hot minute, and then I learned that she's sick and that she's gone within a day, after months of no contact. And I don't know how to feel. Like, I'm mourning, I'm sad, I'm fucking depressed, I'm in shock, I'm angry at myself. I go to sleep, and when I wake up to a message that Highlight sent me at like 2 in the morning or something, 2 or 3 in the morning, and she says she passed at 1 something a.m. What I showed you, I didn't know what to say, so I hearted it, and then I think I went back to sleep. I really, it's just fucking blurry. So that happened, and she tells me she'll keep me posted for, like, updates on the funeral and everything. So I leave it at that. I'm just grieving. I go to my mom's. I'm just talking, whatever. A few days go by, and I hear nothing. And I start getting suspicious. I'm like, these motherfuckers better tell me when this shit is. Like, I have a bad feeling that they would not include me in shit. But I don't want to think the worst of them. But I do have that gut feeling that they would just exclude me from everything, because they're terrible people. And so I finally ask her, like, any updates on when the funeral is. And this is Saturday, I believe. And I'm peeping on their Facebook, because they have some shit that's posted public that I can see. And I see that they're having a benefit for my sister on the Sunday, which was yesterday. And I haven't heard anything of this benefit. I have not been invited to shit. So that's when I started getting my gut feeling like, these motherfuckers better not leave me out of this shit. Yeah, they also had a little get together at her house the next day, which is part of the gut feeling I was getting, because they were all there. Like, all my family was there. They had already had shirts made for her memory, and I heard nothing about it. I didn't get a shirt. So that's when my gut feeling was really telling me, like, these hoes are not gonna tell you shit. And so that's, yeah, I message her, any updates, don't hear back anything. I'm like just getting more and more angry. I'm like trying to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's dealing with a lot of stuff. She hasn't looked at her messages, but I'm like, these motherfuckers are on their phone constantly, especially during shit like this. They're in communication with each other. They're posting on Facebook. Like, she sees my fucking message. Oh my God, I have to think real quick. Okay, so what ends up happening, like, I'm spending all Saturday with my mom. Like, I had to get up early Saturday morning. I had to bring back my stepdad's car to him at 7 that morning. And I was just up after that. I was super awake. So I was like, I want to go to the Spirit Halloween store right when they open. Just like, I need to keep my mind occupied and just like keep myself occupied because I am freaking like just in my thoughts, and time is going by hella slow when I'm not doing anything. So I'm like, I have to keep my mind occupied. So I just, like, my mom's awake, she's wide awake, she's got her fucking face on already. I'm like, let's do this, let's do that. We're driving down this road, which is near a cemetery, and my mom sees a hearse pass and like a lot of cars, whatever, some cars. And she's like, is that a fucking funeral? And my heart just starts sinking, like my eyes start watering. And I'm like, Mom, if I swear to God, if they fucking did this shit and they did not fucking tell me about it. So we go to the cemetery. We drive all the way, all fucking through it to see if I see any of that fucking family. And I don't see anybody. We actually call my aunt Monica. We tell her, like, hey, like, Highlights ain't answering me. Can you call Puppet and see what the hell's going on? And so she does that, and she calls me back. Me and my mom are just chilling at a Stripes at this point. And then Monica calls me back, and she's like, I'm so sorry, Ash. Like, my sister's husband, I don't think I have a nickname for him. I wrote all this down. Yeah, sister's husband. I wrote all this down to keep my thoughts in order because I'm just like, ugh. She's like, he changed his mind. They said that he changed his mind and they didn't want to do anything. They cremated her and that was it. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you fucking serious, dude? And I'm just livid. I'm just like, no wonder this bitch fucking went silent on me, fucking pussy. I'm trying so hard not to cuss so much in this video because I don't want to, like, I don't know if it gets taken down or something on YouTube. But so after that happened, I look at my dad on Facebook because I don't have his number. I don't have anybody's number. And I message him this, like, why would you leave me out? Me and Alyssa didn't even get to say goodbye, blah, blah, blah. And it doesn't go through, which means he's either not logged onto his Facebook or I'm blocked. So that's when I message Highlights. I'm like, what's Dad's number? Nothing. Then I find my brother, I find Puppet's fucking Facebook, and I'm like, what's Dad's number? That one doesn't go through. So either, again, he's logged out or I'm blocked. I'm frantic. Everybody's gone silent on me. Nobody's fucking answering me. So we go back to my mom's house and talk to my stepdad about everything that's going on, because my mom is a hothead. Like, she's just ready to go to war anytime. I'm like, no, we need to not do anything irrational because I don't want us to get in trouble. I don't want us. No. So we're just talking. He tells us, like, the next step is for you to go to Monica's and have her call your dad. So we do that. We get to Monica's. She calls him. She's like, why didn't y'all tell Ashley about the funeral and just all that? Why did y'all leave her out? And he's like, she has him on speaker, and he's like, Ash pulled herself away from the family a long time ago and blah, blah, blah. And I just went off. Like, I grabbed her phone and I just start cussing him out. And I'm like, I was more family to than you ever fucking were. Like, I don't even remember what I said. I was seeing red. My mom was screaming at him too, and I had to pull the phone away from her because I didn't want him to, like, hang up, which he ended up doing anyway because he's a little bitch. He said, though, while we were on the phone, he said, oh, I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? Huh? Yeah, right. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I think he's talking about me being the apple and my mom being the tree, because my mom has never kept her mouth shut. She's always spoke her mind, which I do too. And then he's like, he says it again. I'm like, it just dawns on me, bro. I'm like, he's quoting what I said in my YouTube video that I took down when I was ranting. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? He says something like, deal with it. You have to deal with this now. You have to live with regret and something like that. And then he just hangs up. So I asked for his number from Ka, and I call Monica Ka. And I message him this lovely message. I message him that. So I wanted to start off with calling him a little bitch, but I figured he wouldn't read beyond that. So I saved that for last and just threw in his face how he did this not only to me, but to Alyssa too. And he doesn't even acknowledge her because he doesn't give a shit, because he's an evil person. He is evil and illiterate. He can't even spell correctly. He was like, to ever text me again, or whatever the fuck the message says. I can only guess that means don't ever text me again. I don't fucking know, but I am just in complete shock that he said that to me. But then again, after I calmed down, like today, thinking about it, I'm really not in shock, because he's always been this kind of person. Fun fact, he body slammed my mom while she was pregnant with me back in the day. He's put his hands on Julie. So has Highlights. She's put her hands on Julie. Back in the day, which I think they have forgotten all this stuff, my mom and I, because I keep saying her name. Me and my sister don't have the same mother. We have the same father, unfortunately. Her mom actually passed away back in 2005. But back in the day, back in my early 20s, we actually took Julie in because home life was just fucking toxic over there. So we took her in for a hot while, and I mentioned that in my ranting video too. I remember picking her up from Highlight's house because I think she was staying with her before she came to live with us. And so we went with her over there to get her clothes and stuff. And my sister had cuts all over her face from this bitch, from Highlights, from this bitch. So I went upstairs with her. I'm like, she's not gonna fucking touch you if I'm there, which she didn't. She just kept her pussy ass on the couch. And so, I mean, at least I've never put my hands on my sister. And my sister talks to me. She's always talked to me about shit that they have said about me. Even back in the day when I was trying to keep a relationship with that side of the family, that my dad would say, oh, you don't want to go hang out with her, you don't want to be around her, and those kind of people, like, those aren't your kind of people. Because I used to work at a bar, I used to work at Fast Eddie's when I was younger, telling her like he's ashamed of how I'm raising Alyssa, because I'm raising her to be a free spirit and to question everything and to think freely, think for herself, and not be a cookie cutter piece of shit like they are. Oh, and there was one time, the time that my dad put his hands on Julie, like he slapped her while I was there. I remember that. See, the men in that family, they don't fight other men. They only fight women. They only put their hands on women. That was just a little bit of backstory. This is why I feel as strongly as I do, because me and my sister have always been so close. She was my only tie to them, the only thing that kept me like involved with them. I cut ties years ago because I realized I was the only one trying to keep a relationship with them, and I was sick of it. So I cut ties, and especially after hearing all the shit they would talk, and especially my brother's puppet's wife, just talking all this shit. She don't even fucking know me. So like, this bitch has no room to talk about me with her big ass nose. It just like the whole family is just deranged, which I blame on like my grandmother. I blame on her because she's a misogynist. She wanted all boys, which hilariously half of them motherfuckers turned out to be gay. One of them is an actual woman now, and the only person I still keep in contact with because she's actually nice and a decent human being, which they have talked shit about her too, I remember. And I digress because that woman is gone too from this earth. And one of my uncles actually stopped talking to me because when she was sick in the hospital, I asked how she was doing, but I called her by name. I didn't say grandma. And he was like, "You mean grandma?" That she's never been a grandma to me. She's never been a grandmother to me because she was fucking psycho. Try to hurt my mom with witchcraft back in the day. Like, I have all these details. Like, my dad has his wild side too. He has impersonated a police officer and gotten arrested. He's dabbled with drugs. He used to get drunk all the time. Like, he's no goddamn Boy Scout. So, to give you a little bit of detail of why I did make my ranting video moving back home, I'm not trying to trash my sister's name. I'm not. I want her to be able to rest peacefully. But I am going to speak my piece. I'm going to defend myself against these pieces of shits. Pieces of shits. The reason I had such an issue and I needed to get out is because her and her husband would leave their kids alone 4 hours by themselves at home. These children are younger than Alyssa. And I'm not even okay with leaving Alyssa by herself. She is 11 years old. And that blew my mind. They would get, like, I worked with my sister at her job for a little bit, and she would get irritated with me because my head was not at the job. Like, I wanted to always leave, and it was those kinds of jobs where it's like you're scheduled to leave at this time, but you're going to leave when I say so, which my sister was the boss. And she would get irritated with me when I'm like, I want to leave. Like, can I leave? I want to go be with the kids. Like, I need to be with the kids. Like, I want to make sure they're okay. And she would get irritated with me. So I was like, I need to find me another job. I'm going to quit. This is going to tarnish our relationship. So I end up doing that for that reason, so I can be home with the kids. But it took me a little bit to find another job there. But I was doing my Uber shit there, like in between then, just to make money. And I would do my Uber stuff, and Alyssa would be with me. If she wasn't at school, she would be with me Ubering. And since they were okay with leaving their kids home, I would not worry about that. That's their issue. And which they would get mad at me for. They would tell me, like, why did you leave the kids home alone? I'm like, why is it an issue now that I'm doing my own thing? And and there were times when the kids would even lie on me when I had been home the whole time, and they're like, I'm scared. I don't know where Ashley went. Like, excuse me? And just stuff like that. And my sister's husband yelling at Alyssa like she's not gonna tell me this shit, and him rather fucking getting high than feeding his own kids and telling them, I don't give a fuck, go eat Alyssa snacks. And like, just little things like that, like, is the reason why I wanted to come home. I'm like, I need to come home. This is ruining our fucking relationship. This is the first falling out my sister and I have ever had. And this unfortunately happens after. So for that reason, that I treated her like shit. I have to live with this. They're telling me, they want me to suffer. They told me straight up, you have to suffer with this now. You deserve this. And like, they're evil people, and they call themselves Christians. They're Christian people. Well, my dad's Jewish now, apparently. They're also rape apologists. Let me just throw that in there. A disturbing amount of my uncles and my dad's dad, plus my sister's grandpa on her mom's side, are both child molesters. One of them did it to me, which the whole family apparently knew. Like, they just didn't say anything to me. I thought it was just between my dad and my mom, but apparently my sister told me that, like, all the kids knew too, or whatever. But they sheltered these people, let them stay in their house around all the kids. They're the kind of people that are like, oh, don't let your kid near so-and-so because you know how he is. That's the kind of people they are. So maybe I can get back in with them if I'm Christian and I start fondling some children. My sister was my last connection with them, and unfortunately she is gone now. So that's not my family. I'm ashamed to have the last name that I do. They're all psychos, man. They are psychotic. But anyway, I just wanted to make this video to speak my piece. I am not going to talk about this any longer after this. We will be continuing on with our regular programming after this. I want my sister to rest well. I hope she is okay. I hope she has forgiven me and she knows that I love her. As for the rest of you motherfuckers that are watching this video, because I know you are, hopefully you made it this far, you do not hold shit over me. I have no regrets. None at all. I am not suffering, you fucking psychos. And I forgive you. I forgive you for my peace of mind, for myself, and that's that. Any comments that you leave on this video, if there are any, will be deleted. I'm not going to interact with you anymore. It's just tiring and pointless at this point. Do not bother my daughter, because they sent a text, which I think Alyssa goes to school with one of her cousins from that side. It's Highlight's daughter, and they had her in a group chat yesterday and sent her this message, which her cousin said that it was her mother that sent it. It was Highlights that sent it. And of course they would go with the low blow, calling me a fat bitch. It's like, do you have any other material? She better hope it was not her that sent that, because that is just like, you are the lowest kind of human being out there. That is just blows my mind. Anywho, so I'm just oh my god, I'm gonna have to, yeah, that's just it. That's just it. The silver lining to all of the things that has gone down this last week, there is a silver lining to this dark cloud, and let me tell you, the fact that I don't have to be fake or endure the fakeness whenever I see these people in public now, God, it's just like a weight lifted off my shoulder, because they're fake as fuck. Anywho, I'm gonna go now. And I'm gonna go now, so fuck you.